Alright, this is our second show, and today we're going to be talking about the VW diesel emissions scandal, which hasn't been getting much press coverage from what I've seen.
I haven't heard anything about it, and I feel that's kind of crazy because this seems like it would be a big deal. This seems like something that the consumer would want to know about, and the question is, why isn't the media discussing this at all?
Well, some people are, not as much as it
Well,
could be,
there was like one article from the BBC, there's an article from the Washington Post, and that's about it.
But there's nothing on like live media.
Yeah, I mean, it's not getting much TV coverage, but I've seen a few article write-ups and stuff like that. So, I mean, that right there makes you wonder how, if VW has a hand in that at all, but maybe not.
I don't know, their stock is going straight to the garbage, so.
It is.
They lost, what, 1/3 of its price the very first day. So.
And then even more the next day.
It's been decreasing ever since.
And so basically what the scandal is VW had all these diesel cars that they were producing, and they tricked the EPA tester into thinking that it was not putting out as much emissions as it was, and it ended up putting out like what? How much more?
40 times more.
40 times the legal limit of emissions. So,
that's why they were so efficient and ran so well.
That is true. And yes, I mean, and he brings up a good point. Is the reason they did this is that putting out less fuel, fumes, and everything like that, emissions, would limit the ability of the car and the performance. So that's mainly why they did it, I suppose.
And this is kind of this is a trend that has been going on for a while. A lot of the things happen with mileage. I don't know if you guys know or you guys know, but the mileage that you get for your car, they run those on flat tracks. They run them on tracks. They reduce the weight. They remove pieces of the vehicle to make sure that it weighs less, just to get those ratings of mileage. So if you ever have a car and you're like, well, you know, my car is rated for 28 miles per gallon, but the max I've ever gotten was 24. That's why.
That's true, and that's actually how they tricked them, is using the flat tracks and the rollers, because it's what's his name? I forgot this guy's name, but I'll post it in the comments if you guys want. But he commented and said that having a testing mode for your vehicle isn't uncommon at all. Like the EPA expects a car to have a test mode on it to deal with some of the issues of keep traction control, for instance, from turning on because you're on rollers and it's gonna want to lock up and stuff. So that's how how VW was able to trick the system, is because the EPA uses a standardized test that it takes the car in a certain pattern, it gets it up to like 60 for X amount of time, and then drops it down, and then does certain maneuvers. And so the car was able to recognize that it was going through the exact same set of maneuvers over and over again, and it was able to put itself on a limiting mode based on, I think it was based on the speed, how quickly it changed speeds, and the timing, and then also steering wheel position. So if it knows it's exactly this position with exactly the speed, I'm going to kick into test mode and put out less emissions, suffering for performance, which of course they're not testing for performance, they're testing for the emissions.
I read something somewhere where it pulled in more oxygen and flew it through out with the emissions, so that the particles per whatever they measured in was less.
Yeah.
So what do you think they're going to do a fix for all the cars, recall all the cars?
Oh, they're going to recall all of them. They set aside, what, $7.6 billion?
I thought it was 6.4.
They just upped it.
Yeah, and
the EPA says $18 billion is going to be the cost.
It's going to be a lot more because they're going to be getting hit with fines, and Apparently, this isn't limited to
Recalls and
yeah.
they still have to pay all the recalls, all the costs that go into that.
And this has been since the 2009 models.
Oh,
So
wow.
for the past 6 years, they've been doing these with the vehicles.
I think it was which models? It was all the diesels, the Golf, the Jetta, and then one of the Audi A4, I think, because they produced the engine for that, and then I think Jetta. Yeah, I think that was all of them. There might have been one more.
So what did they end up doing with the CEO? Do you know?
Oh, he quit.
Yeah, one of the higher ups resigned. Was that the CEO?
That was
Yeah,
the CEO.
okay.
He quit because he thought. My guess is he just didn't want to talk about it and be in that whole mess of things.
My
but-
guess is he had a pretty good hand in it. My
Yeah.
guess is he was like, well, I'll do whatever you need to do to make it happen, and this is what they did.
Do you think there's gonna be any jail time for anyone, or is it just gonna be massive
No,
fines?
no, companies don't go to jail just by being people.
No, but yeah, I think that. I mean, and one of the things in the article it was saying is that diesel vehicles were on the decline, so this is going to hurt the entire diesel market even more, because diesel was actually even marketed to be more fuel efficient and more environmentally friendly, because it was marketed to put out less than actual like regular gas vehicles. So we'll see about that.
Apparently, it doesn't.
And now a lot of people are angry because they bought a vehicle that was supposed to be efficient, and now they're mad that they're polluting the air.
Yeah, and not even that. Like, say if you bought a car from VW and you thought that it was diesel, and well, say you didn't even care about the environment, but now you've got to go take your car back. Like,
Because it's illegal. Right?
Yeah.
These cars are illegally on the road. So you can't get that car inspected anymore. It obviously isn't going to pass any emissions tests.
What do you think about the dealerships that they have? There's some dealerships that just sell Volkswagen vehicles, and most of they just have to
they'll be
keep
fine.
that.
Well, I mean, they have to do the recall, but I think Volkswagen in general is getting smashed. Lucky for them, I mean, they own Porsche and
They're the top car. They were the top car manufacturer. For
yeah, but they only beat Toyota by a little bit, and Toyota was going to make a comeback.
Well, after this,
Yeah, they'll definitely be back up top.
yeah.
But I mean, so yeah, they put the CEO from Porsche in charge of it. That's what I heard. So
People are gonna forget about this real quick. And the
yeah,
fines are gonna be
exactly.
much less.
I mean, there's other things to worry about right now, and that's why you're not seeing much media coverage. Also, I don't think stories like this make the media because God knows why they don't.
Because it's not enough attraction. Like, they can get a lot more coverage covering some celebrity like shit their pants on stage than they can.
Well, for one, how many
somebody
people actually own a
polluting the air.
Volkswagen? You have a Hyundai. You have a.
My mom has a Volkswagen, but
It's not a diesel.
it isn't. But that was another thing too. Is that was a large appeal to even people that were buying the diesels. Is that the way that diesels burn? They don't use. They use what combustion? They don't use
It's not combustion.
It's
Diesel's not explosive.
I forget what it's called. You guys are gonna kill me on this, but anyway, it uses that other form, so the engines burn cooler and are made in a vacuum seal, so they hold up so much better. Which was the people that bought the diesel vehicles. That's what they were looking for. Is it holds resale value like so much better than a regular car, and it gets better gas mileage, but.
Do you think this is going to help any other car industry though?
No, because I think that the EPA is going to start investigating other cars as well, and
I
they're
mean,
going to.
people aren't going to trust diesel cars anymore. Do you think people are going to go to maybe electric cars more?
No,
Or they get cheaper?
I don't think so. I think they'll find a different kind of diesel. I mean, Volkswagen doesn't make the only diesel.
That's true, but they did have the largest market share on diesel cars versus not diesel trucks, but diesel
And
cars.
they have, I think, the van is a diesel vehicle, isn't it?
Which one?
The bus, the VW bus?
I think some of them are, yeah.
The ones that those hippies drive around.
Yeah.
They put the grease from French fries in there.
Yeah. Oh, if they're using grease from French fries, then it's definitely diesel.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently it smells real nice too. I don't know.
I mean, it smells like McDonald's French fries constantly wherever you go. So if you like that, look into hippie vans.
Sounds like the worst advice to tell anyone.
You like French fries, drive a hippie van?
Yes. You want to be homeless too?
You're not homeless. You have a mobile home.
You live in a van down by the river.
And stink of French fries and.
Stink of French fries and marijuana. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if there's any girls that are into that, I'm open. So.
Do you stink like French fries and marijuana all the time?
Not all the time,
But you can if they are interested.
But yeah, if you're really interested, then I'll definitely take on that scent. I'll get right on that.
But yeah, I think back to the topic. I think that this is going to open up a lot of other companies to being investigated, and I'm curious to see what they find.
I mean, because it's probably gonna. The EPA is up in their standards for it, for one, and up in their test things. So they're gonna do it differently. Like, it's not gonna be a vehicle that VW provides to be tested per se. It's gonna be something that they pull straight off the line.
But that's how they do it. Yeah, exactly.
They just might make a whole new.
And
test.
that's where they found this, was in Europe. They didn't find this here. Because the regulations are a lot more difficult in Europe and a lot tougher, and big businesses run this country, so they're not as strong here. But I think they need to be. I mean, I think as a consumer, this pisses me off. I just want to know what the hell my car can do. I don't want people to lie to me about it.
People lie to you for cars all the time.
No, it's bad enough I have to deal with the dealers.
It's true.
Like, they're pushy dealers. They try to sell you on the car that might not work. If they has a problem, they might not tell you about it, so you come to service more often and get them more money.
It's true.
It's bad enough. It's a terrible situation.
Commercials make you think that muscle cars will make you more well endowed.
I don't know.
I've never seen those commercials. What channel do you watch?
Bow chicka bow chicka. Camaro. Bow chicka bow. Look at my dick.
He's like, man, I wish I had a cool car. And then he goes into the store, buys a Camaro, and comes out, and he's like, oh yeah, and his pants are about 6 sizes bigger.
Is that how it works?
I don't know. That's what you're saying. I've never seen those
I don't
commercials.
think I said that at all.
Does he have the 70s Ford mustache too?
Possibly.
All I'm saying is,
I think Robot Chicken needs to get on this.
all I'm saying is Jimmy Johnson drives a Ferrari, so like if it works for him,
I don't know.
he's the guy from Extends.
I'm pretty sure that his car doesn't give him a giant penis. Probably all those pills he's popping.
How's his heart running too?
I don't know.
Shit.
My question is, how's he thinking? It's a lot of blood pumping.
He misses months at a time.
Alright, well, I think we're about done on this one.
Do the spiel.
What spiel?
The one you did last time. If you like our show, or if you like the show, like it, subscribe.
I mean, if you don't, fuck off.